What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. After Sound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning. So come by and say hello. Okay, I wanted to talk about, nodes once again and SPS once again because I've been having a lot of conversations about this in the comment section and on Discord, and I feel like a lot of people weren't really understanding, so I was going back and forth, not in a bad way, but I just wanted to clarify my thoughts here so people could fully understand where I'm coming from. And that's the sentiment that I've been having, where it's like I feel like I need to get a node. And that's not in a FOMO, like, yes, I need to get this. This is going to be awesome. Like, I'm going to be missing out if I don't. This is a great investment. It's actually not that at all. In fact, in many ways, it feels kind of like the opposite. Now, here's the thing. I love the idea of nodes, and I think nodes are great. So I'm not trying to poo-poo on nodes by any means. Also, the team is not receiving anything financially from nodes, right? This is all going towards the DAO, and most of it is getting burned. So I'm not looking at this as a cash grab. I'm not trying to criticize nodes for nodes themselves. I'm trying to figure out how I feel about the future of where the value could be in this game to get access to cool things. Now, let me take it a step back and rewind the clock maybe like 8 to 10 months at this point. So SPS launches, and the team says, okay, in order to get the coolest things in the game, you need to stake SPS. Then they launch vouchers as a way, brilliantly in my opinion, as a way to say, well, you now have access to the coolest things, but if you don't want that access, right? Maybe you don't want a Waka card, or maybe you don't want Chaos Legion packs. You can sell that access to other people who are willing to pay the market price for what that access is worth. I love that. That was great, right? That was the utility pipeline of SPS and vouchers. And really, to me, that's the main utility that SPS had until recently. Yes, I know there's tournaments as well, but there's like 300 people that participate in tournaments, maybe 400. In a game that has, 100 plus thousand players, that's not a lot. So I don't think that utility is really something valid for the argument that we're making here. But I digress. So when it comes to what has happened recently, I've already shared my thoughts on like the rewards coming early. I'm not going to dive into that, but I do want to dive into the fact that vouchers were essentially doubled in order to be given out to node license holders as well as SPS stakers. So now instead of getting 20,000 vouchers a day, we are getting 40,000 vouchers a day. So when I look back at that pipeline, right, that initial pipeline, which said, okay, if you want the coolest things in the game, you need to have SPS, or you need to be willing to pay for vouchers from the people who stake SPS. Well, that changed within the last week, because now node license holders are getting just as much access to all of that cool stuff. And actually, the amount of access to that cool stuff essentially doubled overnight, in a way, devaluing vouchers and SPS, which is what I've been saying. So when I look to the future and I say, okay, I want to have access to this cool stuff, I think about now, and this is where the fear of missing out comes in, I think about now is like, where's the team going to direct their energy for the future of any potential value they decide to give back to those that invested in the game? Because now it's not just SPS stakers. There's also Validator license holders as well. So I think about, the Gala games model, which the team is actually referenced directly as kind of an inspiration for this. Now, with Gala, like every time a new game is launched within the Gala ecosystem, people who hold licenses are airdrop tokens. I don't know that, I'm not saying confidently that the team is going to do that, but when I look to the future and say, well, if they were referencing this and they do plan on creating other games and they have these partnerships lined up, what if they give that value to the license holders and not to SPS stakers? You get what I'm saying now, where it's just like that. This is why I felt burned as somebody who was holding SPS, because now it's just like there's multiple ways for the team to give things out. And I feel like the way that I was going all in, because that's what I was told to do, is go all in on SPS. It's now being diluted with validator licenses. Again, I'm not hating on the validator licenses. What I'm trying to say is that from here on out, I am asking myself the question, if I want to get the coolest things in the future, is it only just going to be SPS? Or do I now need to get a validator license node in order to jump in on all of that cool stuff that's happening in the future? Just from a voucher perspective, I feel the need to convert some of my SPS into a validator node because I could probably get more, or if not the same value, I'll do that calculation in another video, but I could probably get the more of the same value from that in the node itself. Plus, I would have access to the node. I would have exposure to the node price potential moving up and down, and whatever other things that would come to it in the future. But hopefully that clarifies kind of my thinking on this and why, like, it's not, I have a share of a node and that's fine, but now I feel the need to actually have a full node all to myself because I look at this and say, well, when there's cool stuff given out in the future, we've already seen that SPS is not going to be the only place that you can get it. You can now get it with validator license nodes. And my fear, right? And this is a legitimate fear. This is a legitimate concern, is that there will be a point in time, there will be a certain thing that will be given only to validator node license holders and not SPS. Again, I'm not saying that that's the case. I'm saying that that is a concern of mine, which is driving me to say, well, I was going all in on SPS, so now I feel like I need to also go not all in on nodes, but have some exposure to nodes. So this feeling is not, it's not the kind of euphoric FOMO. I guess it is FOMO at the end of the day, but it's like this kind of concerned, this kind of like uncertainty, right? Uncertainty of the future of like where the value will be given out, if it will be divided between both sides. And to be fair, before I get, a ton of hate on this video for being too negative, I don't think that the team is trying to do anything malicious. I don't think that the team is going to look through this and say, yeah, we're going to completely leave SPS bag holders in the dust. I don't think that at all. But I am trying to figure out how much exposure I want to have to validator license nodes and how much value I'm trying to determine now will I think be given to them in the future, because as it stands right now, the only way to get cool stuff is through vouchers, and that is equally distributed to SPS stakers and validator node license holders. So in the future, I don't know if that stays equal. Maybe this is all validator license node holders get, right? Maybe in the future, people who are staking SPS get more. That could totally be the case. But from here, where I stand right now, and where we all stand, right, within the ecosystem and the economy and where the game development currently is, I have this desire, I have this like kind of insecurity of like, well, I need to hedge my bets. And that's what gets me, is because when it comes to like playing a game, the last thing I want to be doing is hedging my bets. I want to be buying things because I think they're cool, they're fun, and I want to get a lot out of them. And I want a node, or at least I bought a share of a node because I want to help the decentralization of the game. So sure, I can take that reasoning and jump on it and pretend like that's the main reason I'm going to go through and buy a node. But I'd be lying to you and I'd be lying to myself if I said that was the only reason. The true reason, and probably the more like insidious one, is the fact that I feel like I need to get it because I'm going to miss out on other things when they have now split the cool, access to cool things within the game between SPS stakers and validator node license holders. So I'm still on the fence. I'm loving the fact that SPS is just totally dragging right now because we are starting to see more licenses sold, and I want to see all this SPS burn because at the end of the day, I still got my SPS bag, and I want everybody else to have less SPS for buying a node. So the less SPS there is in circulation, the better for an SPS holder like myself. So I would love to see this thing ride all the way down as far as possible, and people come in and just burn a ton of SPS to buy nodes, of which I may be one. So I haven't made that decision yet, but I am closely looking at it. Voucher prices are getting low, though. Last I saw, they were $1.04, which makes the discount significantly better. So something to consider if you are thinking about a node, or if this video maybe made you change your mind, as the way that these thoughts have kind of changed my mind on whether or not I need to get one. So I'll keep you updated on where I end up with this, but I just wanted to clarify how I was feeling about the need to the need, or the feeling of like needing a node, and why that's ringing true within me rather than just it being like a FOMO, like euphoria, like let's do it, I gotta get in on this. Now it's just like, oh shoot, I guess I gotta get in on this. So that's essentially in a nutshell. All right, okay, that's all I have for you. Have an amazing rest of your day and an amazing weekend as well. I will catch you all in the next video, and I will see you around the game. Take care.